Hello, How To Bob here, and I made this video to show you how to change the thermostat in a 2008 Equinox. Okay, I'm going to start out at the top of the engine by removing the plug. It's right here, and I put a little flathead screwdriver to release the catch and pull the plug out. Once the plug's out, I want to undo my oil cap and then keep going because the filler tube has to come out as well, and it's just another half turn after the oil cap's out. Then I'm going to remove the engine cover. It's just pressed into place by a couple little prongs that go here, and it's also resting on a little rubber bumper right here. So that's out of the way. Here's my oil filler tube. I'm going to put that back in just so nothing gets into the engine while I'm working on the thermostat. So I'm going to take the thermostat out. It's located here. I'll be using a 13mm socket and wrench to remove the two bolts that hold the thermostat housing in. There's one at the top that I'm going to loosen right here, and then there's another one at the bottom, a little harder to see, a little harder to get to. So I'm going to be using a wrench for that one, and if you can get a ratcheting wrench underneath there, that would be the preferred method. And I got that loose, so I'm going to remove the top bolt. You can see it here, and I'll take the bottom bolt and loosen it up. And you can see that the thermostat housing has a slot here, so I didn't have to take the bolt all the way out. So I've got my thermostat out, and I'm going to clean the area thoroughly. And I'll clean the thermostat housing as well. And I want to make sure I get any gunk off there, so I'm going to use some fine sandpaper just to get anything that's on there, get it real smooth. Now my thermostat that I'm going to be replacing, this one is a fail-safe, so if it does go bad, it's going to stay open. It won't overheat the engine. And I need to take the bolt out because this thermostat sticks out just a hair bit further, and the thermostat housing won't slide in the slot. So I'll get my thermostat to stay in place, and I can bring my thermostat housing over and put that in place. And next I'm going to put the bottom bolt back in, and I want to start this out by hand so I don't cross thread any of the bolts. And I'll put the top bolt back in, and then I can use my ratchet to snug down the top bolt and use my wrench to snug down the bottom one. Then I'll come back up to the top bolt and tighten it all the way down, and again to the bottom bolt, and I'll tighten that all the way down. Now that I have the thermostat replaced, I'm going to start the engine and replace the coolant that I leaked out when I changed the thermostat. I'm going to use a mixture of 50/50 antifreeze water and fill it up to the level. Then I'm going to burp the engine. There's a little burp screw here. Uses a 7mm socket, and I'm just going to let that bubble out a little bit. You'll get some air, and then some coolant will come out. Just let that go for a minute or so, and some coolant will come out as well. Then I'm going to tighten it up and let the engine really warm up. So I'll wait a little bit and come back and loosen it once again and let some more air come out. And I'll squeeze the hoses a little bit to work any air that may be in the system out. And then I'll tighten this back up once I get a steady flow of coolant. And I'll put the cap back on, let the system pressurize a little bit, And then after a few minutes, I'll come back and burp the engine again, just to make sure that I don't have any air pockets in my coolant system. So we should be good now. Tighten up my screw again, and I can put the engine cover back on. Now the two prongs go here and here. These are the two prongs that hold the engine cover on, and then there's also a bumper that sits right here, so that kind of helps you line it up. But I first have to remove my oil filler tube, get that out of the way for a moment, and then I can set my engine cover into place. Press it down and it should lock into place, and put my oil filler tube back in, tighten it down, and then replace my plug till it snaps into place. So this is how you replace a thermostat in a 2008 Chevrolet Equinox. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for all the updates. I'm How To Bob. Thanks for watching.